So yeah, I'm just recording.
You are? This has been recording this whole time?
No, I just started now.
Okay. So we can start basically?
We can start, basically.
Right. Yeah, don't be like, we got to make sure to not be awkward about it.
Yeah, I know.
So
do we introduce ourselves?
Yeah, I was going to say, we should definitely introduce ourselves. So I'm Nima.
I'm Remy.
And this is going to be the first episode of a podcast idea that we have. It's going to be fairly general. We're going to talk about things that are in the media, in the tech, in politics. But the thing that both of us are pretty passionate about is going to be movies and things like that. So
anything that we like, really.
Basically, yeah. We're not sure about the name of it. We can call it the Steadiocast. We can call it whatever we want. We're not sure. This is just something in the making.
But it can also be about things we don't like.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's probably going to be the most fun about it. Is talking about the shit that we hate.
So for this one, we both like Star Wars very much. And even though the movie came out quite a few weeks ago.
Has it been 2 months? I think it's been 2 months.
November 27th, I believe, or 17th.
Holy shit.
There's a 7 in there.
You know the date?
It's Star Wars, man.
Go ahead.
So, so we had a few drinks with Nima and had sushi the other night. We always meet up and just talk. And, you know, for the past 2 years, we've been talking about starting a podcast.
December 18th. You were wrong.
Go ahead. One day? Actually, I was wrong a month and a day. Anyways, almost a month and a day. A month minus 1 day. Anyways. I need to stop saying anyways.
It's all right. It's practice. We're getting it out of the way. So we've been talking about it. Like, we both have an urge to want to create things, and especially create content. And podcasts are beyond fascinating, and it's something that we normally do naturally anyway. We chat. We go on way too long of talks about things that matter or don't matter. So this is a good start. And the thing with Star Wars is I don't ever go to the movies. I'm a huge movie fan, but I usually don't go. And after a drunken sushi night, I got convinced to go to see Star Wars, and this is the idea: is I see Star Wars and then we talk about it.
Exactly. So I've seen it 3 times. Yeah. Just because I never go to the movies more than once, but it's Star Wars and I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So Nima hasn't seen it. We're like, let's go see it, and then I'll have a lot to talk about, and it'll be your first time seeing it, so you'll probably have a lot to talk about, and we can see where this goes.
Yeah. Sorry if you hear the squeaking. It's me trying to move my mic a little bit. Deal with it. So
I wanted to ask you something first.
Yeah.
Like, as we're going to the theater and sitting down and getting ready and sitting in front of the screen with the dumb commercials playing, like how did you feel there?
Dude, it's a really hard feeling to explain, because last time I saw Star Wars, and I'm one of the few people that I need to absolutely, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this because I know very little about it, even though I'm a huge sci-fi fan. I'm a huge movie fan. I know how important Star Wars is, but I know very little about it. And that's because the original trilogy, I want to say, and this is horrible, I don't think I've seen it since I learned English. And this is something that I should say, is that both of us are foreigners. I grew up in Iran. You grew up in France.
Yeah, and same here. I didn't see Star Wars until... I don't really remember. I was like 15, 16. I know I saw it here as soon as I got here, but I think I've,
The original or the new trilogy? I mean,
the original ones.
Okay.
I think the first time I saw the originals was when I was 16 and in the US and learning English. But I knew it was around, and I knew a lot of my friends were into it a lot when we were kids, younger than that. And then, episode 1 came out when I was still in France, and I went to see that, and then that's what got me really interested.
Episode 1 came out while you were... You know what? You're right. Episode 1 came out. That's right.
And
wow.
I rewatched episode 1, like, before, in anticipation to seeing this new movie, and, it just... I hate saying that, but it sucks.
It sucks, but that's something I want to talk about.
The lightsaber duels, man,
are so good.
That's what drew me in Star Wars.
And here's the thing. Yeah, that's right. And you can't talk about the new Star Wars without talking about the old Star Wars. But you're right. The episode 1 came out before both of us moved to US. Yeah. Because now that you're saying it, the first time I saw episode 1 was not in the theaters. It was on a DVD somewhere or in a VHS somewhere. And that's the thing that I made note of it. We have to talk about it. The difference between those Star Wars movies and how they were written and how they were made, and this one. Like, sitting in that movie theater, it was a weird feeling. Like,
Because you haven't sat in a movie theater for so long, or is it because it was this Star Wars movie?
It was because it was a Star Wars movie that I haven't sat in a movie theater in a long.
So you've never seen a Star Wars movie in a movie theater?
No, I have. I saw episode 2 and episode 3 in a movie theater. And here's the thing. That's when I was a kid. Like, at that point, I was a teenager, but that was already past the point that I was a crazy movie nut. Like, because I had seen Terminator 2 when I was a kid, and that will forever be the perfect movie, and it will continue to be that. But like, I remember seeing it. I was beyond impressed as a teenager of not so much the story, but I remember every time I came home.
The original trilogy.
Yeah, well, mostly episode 2 and episode 3, because I saw episode 1.
You're talking about the episode 2 and 3, not
No,
six
not the
and
old ones.
7.
Correct, because the 6, 7, and no, not
4, 5.
It
Our
is
math
6.
is a little off. Sorry,
it's
guys.
4, 5, and 6 that I need to rewatch, because I don't.
Those are the original ones.
Those are the original, correct, and I haven't seen those other than like catching a few scenes on the TV since I moved to US. So I need to rewatch those.
Dude,
I know.
rewatched them not too long ago. Same thing as in this anticipation for the new movie. It's like
Good.
everything that's really good about those movies are in the new movie.
See, that's part of what I want to kind of sort of disagree. It's not that all the good. Obviously, the new movie is made to a huge fanfare of the original, of the people that love the original.
Sure, it
originals.
seems like it. Yeah.
But like, obviously, I'll say I love the movie. I mean, there's nothing that I would say is
The new
horrible
one.
about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
okay.
like, so nothing that I'm gonna say is gonna make it in any way should result in anybody thinking that I hated the movie, because I loved it, and I think it's a huge moment for us to have a Star Wars movie again.
Yes.
But yeah, like, and this is something that George Lucas himself, I think, commented on it after the movie came out. And I think maybe he has every right to comment. Maybe he doesn't, because he sold the rights. So, but
Yeah. Who knows?
his writing style and his approach to Star Wars is completely different than J.J. Abrams and Disney's new approach to Star Wars.
I was gonna ask you that. Do you think the new production was trying to really emulate what the first ones were about?
Not at all. I think
Because a lot of it, I thought, maybe we can figure out
Yeah.
what parts of the new movie really reminded me of the old ones. But
I think the job is to remind you of the old ones. But I think,
yes,
and this is something that he very like douchebaggery kind of way mentioned, that he made pieces of art. He thinks those movies are art. And this is something that I was listening to a podcast that I had to stop myself because I don't want to get ruined of the discussions. I think Joshua Topolsky mentioned that he said that he made pieces of art and this is a new action movie. And it really is. This new Star Wars movie is more of an action movie than anything else. And Lucas felt like his approach to Star Wars was not only a family drama.
Wait, you said Luke? You meant Lucas?
Lucas, sorry, yeah. Lucas's approach was not only that it's a family drama, but it's also like a philosophical, it's a political drama too, because he cared a lot about that, especially in episode 1, 2, and 3. That was his thing. That was the thing that he was like getting excited about, is talking about the politics of the Empire.
But then he ruined it with a bad love
story. And there's different theories about why it was so bad, and a lot of it is talking about how it could be because simply he got separated from his ex-wife that he was married to during that time. No, that's because the idea is that she was the one that brought him back to reality for the original trilogy. She was the one that would shut down bad ideas because she was involved in production and writing.
I did not know that.
And apparently she wasn't involved in episodes 1, 2, and 3. Yeah.
My only beef with those, as far as like
the love story,
as far as the love story is concerned, is the dialogue. Like, I love how the storytelling. I think what he was trying to do is use those 3 episodes to show how Anakin.
Correct. They're supposed to be about Anakin.
So angry.
Yeah.
But I think the missing link there is the love story. There was either no chemistry between the actors, and it was not believable. But at the same time, it's like the fact that Anakin got super angry because his love life didn't go so well. That was not really put well in the first 3 movies.
It was awful. But that's actually, you know what? You're right. That ties into the new movie because Kylo Ren, right? That's his name.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren, the new villain. Which my theory is that he's not going to stay a villain forever.
I really hope. Can get to that later because we have like.
And that would be genius writing,
theories.
Whichever way they take it, because the reactions that they're creating in the audience is beyond brilliant, because not everybody's talking about it. Anybody that likes a movie has a Star Wars theory, and it's great. But you're right, because Anakin's like character development in the original trilogy. Not the original. I keep saying that. The 1, 2, and 3. It's not very good at all because you like by the point he's got apeshit angry, you should be feeling either why he's so angry or you should be feeling against it. And I didn't feel either. I was just like, okay, right, I guess he's angry.
Killing little kids with lightsabers, great. Yeah. Fuck, that's not cool.
But at the same time, like, and this is something that we can talk about with the new movie. They talk about that. They talk about how
Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren actually did the same thing.
Yeah, and so
that's right. Holy crap.
But the thing is, like, even though I didn't see it, is it Kylo? Am I saying it right?
Kylo Ren, yeah.
Kylo. Okay, so they talk about, right? They talk about how he turned evil to the dark side, and briefly. How Luke, I guess, tried to save him, and how everybody tried to save him, but he didn't work, and obviously he did go to the dark side, right? Yeah. But I cared about even the backstory that was roughly mentioned, like from scene to scene. I cared about his anger a lot more than I cared about Anakin's anger.
You want to know why he's angry? I want to know why he's angry. I think that's good storytelling on Abrams' part.
It's acting too. Maybe it was just the wrong person to play Anakin. Because even the little kid in the first episode of the sequels, like. He was not that good of an actor as a kid. Did you?
That's fucked up.
His life is ruined.
I heard.
Why is that fucked up? This is the whole point of.
I know, but who knows? Maybe it was not the actor's fault. Maybe it was the directing that was.
I think it was
sucky.
I think here's the thing. I don't think it's fair at all to put all the blame on Lucas, because no matter what everybody says, and everybody has all the different reasons of why they hate George Lucas now.
But did you know that
a lot of was his shoulder? Go ahead.
Do you know that Han Solo, Harrison Ford, when he started the movie, like he made a new character because he did not like the Han Solo that Lucas had made for the movie.
Yeah, and Lucas
and turned out Han Solo was like the favorite character of everyone in the first trilogy.
But the thing is, that's a perfect movie making story is when an actor can develop a character beyond what was written on the script, right? But the thing is, like. But Lucas was also stubborn about that. In the re-editing and the re-releasing of the Star Wars as they went, like every 5 years or so, whenever he did it, he kept on re-editing those scenes to make Lucas into what he wanted, to make Han Solo into what he wanted it to be, as opposed to what was actually filmed and what everybody loved about Han Solo. Like there was re-releases done to add CGI, to change the way that things were shot. They always say Han Solo shot first or he didn't. All those things were done against what people wanted for the movies to be, and that's the thing is Lucas is, how should I say it, I think if you put 1, 2, and 3 on mute, I think Lucas outperforms J.J. Abrams by quite a bit, right? Because those movies are stunning to look at, and that's the thing that Lucas is amazing at is character design, fight scenes, and oh my God, we're getting sidetracked because there's so much I want to talk about with the fight scenes and everything. But like, those were beautiful. Like, that's the thing I came
considering they came out in the 70s. Yeah.
Not even the 70s. I'm sorry. I'm talking about 1, 2, and I'm talking about 1, 2, and 3 is
the sequel.
The sequels. Yeah, let's do that. The sequels. The fight scenes were insanely good.
Yeah, awesome. I love them.
Like, and
all of it.
And God, we should keep trying to come back.
The action was great.
Yes,
the action was great. The storytelling, not so much.
It was pretty bad.
Basically, that's what happened. The great action scenes, but the storytelling was lacking. The only good part, my favorite character about the sequel is Obi-Wan.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
He's the one that actually got his role right.
Yeah. And he is the Han Solo of our generation, right? He's the one that made the movies. He's the one that you immediately think about when you, and he needs to come back because he did such a great job.
He's not. He's dead. He's an old man now. Unless Disney makes that movie that they said they were.
Is he dead? Because that's the thing I never understood about Star Wars. Is he dead because his body goes away?
Even if he's not dead and he comes back in those prequels. He's like, he died when he was like a 7 years old man. Like, we're not gonna get the young Kenobi, but I don't think he was like the Han Solo. Comparatively, he was like the most badass character of the sequels. Yeah. So I guess he would be the Han Solo of that, but he was still like a very like calm Jedi.
He was, and that's what his acting, despite the script and his cheesy lines, was fantastic. Ewan McGregor in that movie was
that was the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
But also, did you know that? Actually, I don't know if it's. I heard that in the scene of the new movie when Rey touches Luke's weapon in the treasure chest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And apparently, I read an article where there's voices in the background. One of them is the old Obi- Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Who
and
they were able
McGregor did his own voice.
I don't know.
Yeah, he did. He said he came back to record voice.
I think they added Ewan McGregor's on top of an edited version of the old actor.
Oh, sure.
And they,
that was such a great scene. And you know what? Like, and this is going to be a struggle for us to stay organized during the podcast because there's a lot of things we want to talk about.
So far, so good.
But like, and it's so hard to talk about just one movie because it's a whole universe of things that we already know about have happened. Like, one thing I will say is visually, I was somewhat disappointed in the movie, and that could be 100% because I believe that the movie theater that you and I saw it in was not calibrated right.
Okay.
The screen looked too dark for me.
All right.
So I don't think it was. I think whoever was playing it didn't do a good job of setting it up, which makes sense. It's 2 months after the movie came out, 3 months after the movie came out.
We saw it in a very small room.
Yeah, and people are paying their attention and their specifications to the newer movies that are coming out. But anyway, I was really impressed about it, and like I don't know how we want to talk about it because I'll say one thing is the lightsaber fights were disappointing, but maybe purposely disappointing because the three people that have lightsaber fights are Kylo Ren, Finn, and is it Rey? And Rey. And Finn and Rey are supposedly never touched a lightsaber before.
Yes, but one of them has the force being strong within them.
That's the thing I don't understand. If we spend 6 movies already saying the force is not easy, right? You need a lot of practice to get the force under control and understand it.
The awakening.
But how is Rey all of a sudden?
Because the force awakened.
I need to understand that, and that's a frustrating thing.
And that's that's one of the mysteries that makes it so interesting.
Correct. And you know what? Before we saw the movie, I asked you, and I told you, J.J. Abrams, his thing is mysteries. His thing is
the lost thing.
Yeah, his thing is writing a script and presenting that script as a movie to you, and you leave the movie with a lot of questions. Yeah. And his thing is those questions are always like so much fun to talk about. And I think that's the thing. He presented a lot of questions.
That's what makes it great. That's what makes people talk about it.
Dude, it's so The Force Awakens was about Rey, is what you're saying.
Rey, and I think Finn has some of it.
But it wasn't hinted. He just held the lightsaber.
Yes, but the fact that he had this epiphany in his first battle as a stormtrooper
to wake up and join the good side.
That's another. No, the movie title is the Force Awakens.
Yeah,
it didn't Rey, but I think it awakened as the movie was going, as she was going through all these struggles, like Luke did, which is like a huge parallel. Everybody's saying.
I wonder if it's a double meaning. I wonder if the Force Awakens means the Force Awakens within Rey and the Force Awakens Finn.
Yeah, dude, to put them together is something, like. And a lot of the things we're talking about and we're going to keep talking about are just going to be huge speculations that even the production team didn't think about, but they most likely did. I mean, come on, the Force Awakens.
Do you think they did?
Well, Finn he's holding this gun. He sees his like stormtrooper friend bleed, and by the way, that whole mark on his helmet, brilliant, great.
Can I just say that's something
that's gonna stick, man. I want to get a stormtrooper outfit and put that blood on it.
Oh, not even that. It's badass, but it's how should I say it? It's easy, not easy. I would say it's brilliantly simple character design because stormtroopers are all identical. So how do you make one of them stand out? That's supposed to be the target that you think about. So just simply putting 3 red lines on his face, which is supposed to be blood. Yeah. None of the other ones have it. So you automatically know which one it is that you're talking about.
Yeah, but we only see him as this bloody stormtrooper for like 5-10 minutes in the movie.
That's important because if you didn't have the blood in those 5-10 minutes, you're just like, what is happening? Which one am I supposed to be looking at?
One of the first chills I got through the movie, I didn't get chills, but the first like, ooh, what's going on here is when Kylo Ren walks back to his ship and he turns and he sees this stormtrooper with a blood mark on his helmet, kind of like lost and feeling out of place. And then later on,
he remembers it.
Later on, he knows the stormtrooper's like identification number. That's the Force, man. That's cool.
And God, is Kylo Ren like? I don't remember anybody being as badass as Kylo. Like, because remember in that same scene, before that, he stopped the laser, whatever it was that was coming at it.
Cool, man.
And he kept control of that laser as he held the conversation, as he walked away. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone in light or dark side do something as badass as that.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, these are the extra little things that they made happen that, you know, Sith can do.
So let's talk about characters. So this movie was obviously about a few characters. Obviously, 3 of them are the new generation of characters. 2 are the old. Actually, 3 are the old, and Luke you barely see until the very last few seconds.
Right.
So
Spoiler alerts, guys. Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
big time. We should have said that at the beginning. We'll try to edit it in. We probably won't.
No,
because it's been a while.
At this point, you should know about Star Wars. Like, I was probably the last person on the face of the earth that hasn't seen Star Wars. So there are a lot of spoilers, but Luke comes in at the very end, and we won't talk about Luke until later, and let's hope to remember to talk about Luke. But so mainly the movie was about Rey, like one of the main characters of the new generation.
Yeah.
Who is Rey?
Rey, that's another mystery. She's a
Luke's
girl.
daughter? Do you think Luke's daughter?
That's speculation.
Let's
Get to that later.
Okay.
I have theories. I've read theories. I've made my own. Like, I mean, it's just, again, the mysteries make people talk, and like you said earlier,
is it a mystery though? It wasn't the first trailer was Luke's voiceover that says you have it, your brother has it.
No, that was Han Solo.
Damn it.
In the first trailer, Han Solo says, you know, I have it, you have it, I have it, we have it, Chewbacca has it. No, just kidding.
Oh, damn it. So Rey, the movie opens with Rey, right?
The movie opens with the stormtrooper about to land on Jakku.
Yep. And dude, was that Jakku the movie opened with?
Actually, no.
The dark scene, the night with the blood. Was that the opening scene? Or
the opening scene was It was Finn's awakening. You see Kylo Ren the first time.
Who was the old guy in that scene?
I heard that was one of the characters in the first trilogy, one of Leia's friends. We must have seen it. He might have had a very small role, but he was there.
It's so frustrating to hire such a brilliant actor for one scene that doesn't even add.
Dude, the actors in that movie they wanted in for anything to be part of the new Star Wars. I would do that.
His character's name was Lor San Tekka. I'm gonna try to see if I can find out who that is.
He's probably one of the generals, like when they're about to attack the Death Star, like the first or second time in the originals. So
the movie actually more or less opens with Kylo and Finn as opposed to Rey, right?
Yeah, because Rey happens later after the chaos. Then you see the scene with Rey, and then it's cool and stuff. But I think the scene might open with. No, it doesn't open with the stormtroopers. You know when there's the Star Wars theme, and then the yellow letters and the space, and then it
the ship. Which, by the way, you told me that was a really good shot. I completely agree. I was not expecting that shot. Badass. Such a boring thing, but
It's just you think you're gonna see it, like you're looking for it, like in the originals. They're coming from far away, and then it's from under. Like it just shows the audience that when you're in space, like there's no up and down and stuff.
Correct.
It's just like whatever.
Which is something my mind still can't comprehend that much.
So yeah, Rey happens after the ordeal on Jakku when Kylo Ren goes there to try to get the map. And what's the name of the badass fighter pilot?
I will find out. Keep talking. He has a
Paul.
really cool name.
Wait, no, Paul.
No,
Paul?
it is Paul something. Poe.
Dameron
Poe
Poe.
Dameron.
So yeah, the guy that gets killed by Kylo Ren, the old guy from the first trilogy, gives him the map first, and then he puts in the BB-8 droid, which
Correct.
BB-8 is a whole awesome new character on its own.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, everything
He
about
reminds
BB-8.
me of my puppy dogs, like both of them.
Everything about BB-8 was perfect.
Yeah. And I really wonder how they came up with that idea to they needed a droid to make it because droid is a part of Star Wars, and they just hit it right on the nail on top of the head of that.
BB-8 is real?
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, to make something like that and not to make a CGI is...
they had to make a real version of it.
It's I don't know how I should say it. It's brilliant.
It's probably like a radio-controlled gyroscope in a ball that rolls around.
But it's so awesome. The thing stays on top and it spins around, and it had a personality that was great. The personality of R2-D2 never transferred into me at all. Like I get the personalities because everybody reacts to what he supposedly says.
But think about the fact that it came out in the 70s again, and R2D2, like no one has thought of droid like that. Like the little robot has feelings in the way he talks and stuff, and he's got emotions in the you know,
and gets scared and stuff. Yeah,
exactly, and it helps, and it like makes jokes with C3PO and stuff. So yeah, I have a hard time connecting with that as well, but you got to realize that movie came out so long ago that it literally shocked the audience, and everybody was talking about it just like they hopefully are now.
And well, we still remember R2D2, so it was impressive just for that. But so let's talk about the main characters. Finn is a stormtrooper that basically what we say is the Force awakens him because he realizes that he doesn't want to do that anymore. And it's not, he hasn't been doing it for a long time. When he talks about it, it's his first fight.
He says that later in the movie.
Yeah. So I don't know how I feel about a stormtrooper waking up, but that's because of what I understand of the original 1, 2, and 3 doesn't really add up with this. But that doesn't mean, actually, you know what? I can easily answer that because in 1, 2,
Are you talking about the clones?
Yeah.
Okay, the clones they're different. Remember, there's a scene in this new one where Kylo Ren asked the general of the ship, the crazy guy who speaks like Hitler at that rally. He tells him like, well, are your men safe to work with, or should we go back to clones?
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's
I missed that.
You know, this is the gist of it.
Watch that.
Yeah, I watched it 3 times. Keep in mind too, like I mean,
and the thing is, I need to keep reminding myself is the bad guys in this movie are not exactly bad guys from the original 6, I would say, because it's an offspring of the same thing, but not exactly the same thing. So it makes sense that they're not clones right now. They're not clones.
Yeah, they're not clones because
So he wakes up, and not that he wakes up, but he realizes that he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah,
anymore
he has
after
this epiphany.
He sees a friend die.
He literally like sees like, well, I don't know if they're not really allowed to take out their helmets and stuff, so we don't know if they have face-to-face interaction or mask-to-mask interaction. So do they build emotions that way? No. Finn seems like he's full of emotions, but maybe it's because he just, you know, kind of like awoke like that and realized he's on the wrong side of this war. And again, there's mystery behind that. Why would this guy wake up? Maybe he's part Jedi, or he feels the Force a little bit. Like Leia. Leia's not a Jedi. She just knows the Force.
Does she know the Force?
Yeah, she's Luke's sister.
So that doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything, but she probably. Oh, I guess you're right. There's no proof that she has actually.
Like, I wanted Finn to be the Jedi, and it was frustrating that he didn't turn out to be the Jedi. And if he's not the Jedi, that completely ruins my childhood.
Why did you have an expectation that there was going to be one Jedi in this movie?
No, not the one Jedi, but maybe you're right. Because the thing is, like, if he's not the main person, if he's not supposed to be a Jedi at all, right? If he's just a good guy,
we don't know.
Just generally a good guy.
Yeah, that's what it seems like so far.
So why? I didn't know anybody can pick up a lightsaber. I thought only Jedis could pick up
it's a button.
A sword.
You click it and
dude, I thought only Jedis had the ability to use a lightsaber. But they're trained on it. But anybody can pick it up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I think in this Star Wars story, it's a noble weapon for noble people like the Jedi. So, so we have like Finn's kind of awakening, and then we see Rey a little bit. She's struggling. She lives alone. She's waiting for something. She's counting the days.
Like she's like almost like scavenge hunting.
She's a scavenger. She picks up parts from that's the cool part I like.
The old ship.
Remember when the first theatrical trailer came out and you see this small, you know, it's her now that we know, driving in front of this like crashed
Starship Destroyer, is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, Starship.
Yeah.
And you know, she lives in one of those big walkers that we see on the snow place. We should know our stuff better, but who cares?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. She lives in a crashed one. That's
on the floor, like you know.
Yeah.
So she's a scavenger, yes, and you know, we learn really quickly, and they did that so well.
The thing is that she also mentions during that scene, that pretty much the whole movie is she was left behind by her family, and that's another mystery.
Does she say family?
Yeah.
Does she remember them?
No, I think she does. Yeah, she says she remembers them, I believe. And if anybody at all is listening to us, they can let us know that if she mentions it. But I thought she mentions that she remembers her family leaving.
She's waiting for someone. She's counting the days since she's been left alone, I guess.
Correct.
so there's that whole part of her, and like you're like, all right, she's pretty cool. She's pretty cool. She's kind of a badass. She fixes things. She's obviously very frustrated at this point with her life, and she either wants those people to come back to get her family, or whatever it is, or something else has to happen. Anyways, seems like she's just been living that life for a while.
And
obviously,
she's fairly good at it. Like she's surviving, and that's an awesome thing. And I know that's a goal that I assume they made not only on a creative level but also on a business level, is to have strong female characters that are existing on their own, and that's something that maybe needs to be done on purpose, because the old way of doing cinema is the females is the person that gets saved, not the person that's doing the saving. But they did a really good job with it in this one. It was almost funny because they take jabs at it, right? He holds her hand. Finn holds her hand.
Between Finn and Rey?
Yeah. He's he's gonna save her, and she's like, I don't need you.
They're like a symbiotic hero saving each other kind of pattern.
And here's the thing, I'm way too late to this party. She is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Whoever she's playing, not only she's beautiful, but she looks a lot like Keira Knightley. Incredibly, a lot like her.
Whatever. I think she's adorable.
She's
cute.
Yeah, she's cute.
No, she seems really innocent until, I mean, as the movie goes, you realize she's got like more and more spunk, charisma.
Speaking of which, let's talk about that. As the movie goes, there's a scene that she is captured, and the scene that she's captured doesn't mean much. We'll talk about that. What happened? What are you
Half an hour so far.
Okay. So not the scene that she was captured, because that's meh. I could have easily done without that scene. But the scene that follows it is really important because it shows the discussion between Kylo Ren and Rey.
Yeah.
And
that was so badass.
It's perfect. He takes off his helmet.
Yeah. And you see him for the first time.
Is that the first time you see him? Oh, dude. And he does a really good job as Kylo, man. Adam Driver, I think is his name.
Yeah.
But it gets to a certain point that he's trying to extract information out of her using the Force. I don't know if that means he's using torture or if he's using the Force to connect with her mind to get information.
That. I'm pretty sure that's that.
But it's obviously painful to the person that's on the receiving end of it, right?
He does the same thing to Poe earlier.
And Poe gives up information. Yeah. So that's your establishing point, is that this badass, awesome character has a breaking point.
He can read minds.
Yeah.
But then Rey... he's like, no, I am not having this.
The way that scene was done, I don't know if it was meant to be that way, but there's a back and forth cut of their close-up faces.
Yes.
And it's not until, quite a bit into it that you realize Kylo's having a hard time getting the information, and it's because she's fighting back.
Super subtle face acting.
Once I picked up that she's fighting back, I got excited. I was like, "Oh shit, she has the Force!" And that's the introduction. I was like, "No way!"
Yeah, I guess that's I mean, I understand. I see that. That's like when you realize that. I guess that's like halfway through the movie already.
Is it? I don't know. It was a pretty long movie, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, wow. Exactly. That's exactly right.
That was a very important scene, and I hope and I imagine that scene is always going to be remembered as an important scene.
Oh, badass scene. Okay, another important scene is when Han Solo and Chewbacca find their ship. They go in there, and then all four of them are, like Rey and Finn. They're hiding, but then they get found out by Han Solo, and then there's this whole part where you're that Han Solo that did this and that.
Yeah.
You were the rebellion. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And that's an important part too, because it shows that Finn and Rey have kind of an idea of what those legends are, and are both super surprised to find out that they were true.
And it would be really interesting I wish, maybe that's coming into movies down the line, right? Because Rey and Finn would have a completely different understanding of who Han Solo would be.
Right. I'm one of the questions is how does Finn know if he was born
history lessons as a stormtrooper, as you're being brought up, because you're bred to be a stormtrooper, and remember they are taught everything. So that side of the story, what does it mean?
That's right.
That's. But also reminds you how long it's been since they've been in a movie. Like, so much time has passed between those two, between the end of the original trilogy and the beginning of this new trilogy.
30 years.
That's such a long time. But here, let me ask you this. Where was Han Solo? Because remember, their ship goes inside of a bigger ship, right? What is that thing?
Well, That's their ship now. Like the bigger ship that catches the Millennium Falcon is operated by Han Solo and Chewie. That's probably their newer ship.
But then why is everybody else inside of it?
Because that ship later on gets captured by another bigger ship.
Oh, it does? I don't remember that. Okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah.
Okay.
And then so that's what happened. You can see it in the footage of the camera and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the first pretty important scene, I think, too, like that reunion, which is not really a reunion, maybe a reunion between the audience and old actors and old characters.
My theory is that it's a reunion between an uncle and niece, but I'm just saying.
And what?
Between an uncle and a niece, right? No, wait, no.
That's one thing so like, I mean, let's just start talking about character development. Yeah. We haven't really talked about how we think the production was or anything, but I like the story aspect of it right now.
Okay.
So,
go ahead.
How cool would it be if, because right now at the end of the movie, Rey kicks ass, Kylo Ren is left with more bruises, and he there's Snoke also that we can talk about. Snoke says...
Who's Snoke?
Snoke is Emperor Snoke. He's like the new emperor, but he's not even an emperor, is he? Like, he's a supreme leader.
He's a supreme leader. So, do you remember the original trilogy? Does the emperor die in that original? Because I think he does.
He gets thrown out. He doesn't... He
falls down the same style of pit that Han Solo falls in.
He falls down. So there's one theory I read that that might be him, but the Sith stories, like, because apparently Lucas has written all kinds of stories, and there's like fan fiction, and Snoke is a character I think that has appeared before, and he's just another big badass. Like, who knows?
Well, they've mentioned that they are ignoring anything that was written before.
Yeah, then he must be a new character. Same for Rey. She might be just a brand new person.
I don't think she's going to be brand new. Sorry if I moved away from the mic. I don't think she's going to be brand new. Because the whole point of Star Wars is the Luke... What's his name? Skywalker. Luke Skywalker family. So I think there's no way they would introduce a character like that without that person being related to the family.
I understand.
Sorry, I'm turning into a beer.
My first idea was to kind of like dismiss the whole she's Luke's daughter, because it would make it so it's so obvious. I hope they didn't go for that, but at the same time, if they do it right, maybe it could be great at the end of the second episode or the third episode, or I mean, the second or third sequels. Oh my gosh!
One of the ideas that I have is that she is Kylo's sister, who Luke... Oh no, Kylo is not Luke's son. Kylo is Han's son.
Yes.
So, yeah, Kylo... And so Rey would be Luke's daughter, I feel like. That Luke tried to protect by putting in this...
I feel like... And I've watched the movie 3 times, and I feel like I gotten hints. Maybe I just made them up. I wouldn't be surprised. But Kylo Ren and Rey have some kind of relation in their blood.
Yeah.
So if they're cousins, that means Luke's the father. But then I kind of cringe at the idea that they have to explain who Luke had some sexy time with, which I hope they don't. And I just don't like this whole concept and idea
of Luke having sex.
Yeah, it would be too obvious for her to be his daughter, unless again they do it really in a good way where she keeps asking because she knows Luke knows, but Luke doesn't say anything until Luke eventually dies at the hand of a Sith Lord and tells her the truth, and then she cries, she becomes crazy. And another idea I have is, what if those two, Rey and Kylo Ren, what if, as story goes and the correct characters develop, they switch? Because Kylo Ren is struggling. He tells the Darth Vader's helmet, his grandfather, I'm struggling. Snoke knows about it. What should I do? Show me the way. He, kills his father in hopes that it brings him to the next level of being a bad Jedi.
But I don't think it does. Because the
it
scene
doesn't.
Following that
because Rey still kicks his ass. Yeah. And Leader Snoke says he's ready for his next...
his progression level.
Yeah, exactly. So... Next movie, I believe Kylo Ren's going to be a badass, even way more evil. But then he might show other really very good parts of him. But maybe Rey learns something that makes her angry and starts going to the other side.
Is this next movie gonna be like in the original trilogy where there was a movie about Luke becoming a Jedi, where he gets trained by Yoda, right? Is this gonna be that movie?
That's what it seems like. I mean,
does that mean Luke is gonna die soon?
probably.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. So, there's that, and then I want to learn more about Maz and how she got the lightsaber, and she says it's a story for another time. So hopefully they'll talk about this.
That was a cool design character, and a
Yeah.
really cool acted character too.
Yeah,
I like
it was she was like she was a little cool, like regular lady.
So that scene in her like canteen or her whatever place is that is that the Force calling to Rey? Like the kids laughing and the kids smiling?
Who knows? I don't know. I mean,
Because that's how she
never
finds
seen
the lightsaber, right?
We've never seen the Force. I guess we have seen the Force do that.
Have we?
Well, I mean, even in the first trilogy, that happens. But in this new movie, when Han Solo lands on I don't know the name of that planet, the planet that has the new weapon on it.
Oh yeah.
As soon as he lands, Kylo Ren turns around and he's like, Han Solo,
Oh, that's right.
you are on my planet. And so he knows, and he goes to find him. So that's one way maybe the lightsaber called to Rey, or the Force called Rey to go check out the lightsaber. But I want to know why when she touched it, all that happened.
I agree.
mean, how's that make sense?
And I hope that's something that they explain. Because here's the thing: in the next movie, it's not J.J. Abrams anymore.
I know,
so whoever's
that's crazy.
Is it the guy that made Godzilla? Is this his Star Wars movie? Because oh my god,
The second one?
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's gonna be incredible.
Yeah, but then I feel like it's gonna be more about like the looks of it than the actual storytelling.
Well, no. Here's the thing: this is Disney, and Disney has plans. Disney's just like
Disney
with the
writes
Marvel
it, and
universe.
then
I don't know if they write it, but the way it works is if they're doing anything similar to the Marvel universe, is basically they have a team or at least one person in charge of the universe, as they would call it, right? In charge of where the story needs to go. So whoever gets hired to write the script, to direct the movie, they need to operate under this realm of the universe and where it needs to go.
well, maybe Abrams got paid to write all three.
I don't think he did.
That sucks.
I don't think he doesn't write too many of his movies. He just heavily because it's usually his production company that makes the movies.
But did he write anything in this one?
I don't think so.
Who the heck wrote it then?
I think the original Star Wars writers,
But not George Lucas.
not George Lucas.
Interesting.
It's made by actually, you know what? He did write some of it. He gets writing credit for this movie.
And we don't know who the next movie is going to be written by.
No, I wish I could Google whatever the next is gonna be called.
Yeah, I mean,
We can
the
keep
movie
going
is
back,
cool.
but obviously Snoke,
Yeah.
his acting was great. I love the idea that they introduced him as literally this massive being.
Took
But
me a while
then-
to realize it was a hologram.
Yeah, but once it's a hologram, it tells you a lot about the character that wants to be represented in this
Yeah.
massive way. Which doesn't. Maybe it is massive. Maybe it is absolutely massive.
Maybe he's like a loser in his small
Yeah.
house on a small planet.
Maybe he is just like that smaller character. Who was it?
Is he green, Nima?
No, not Yoda.
Oh, okay.
Who has the lightsaber? We were just talking about it.
Oh, Maz.
Yeah, maybe it's just like Maz. Maz is a good side, and Snoke is a bad side.
You think Maz is... I mean, she's obviously a big character, but I don't think she's been around for 1,000 years.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not saying it's the same character. I'm saying it's the same type of being.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like same species.
First time I saw... maybe the first time. But in the first movie, after I walked out of it, I was like... All right, I thought about Snoke and his image, and I'm like, all right, the scars on his face,
Yeah.
and then you remember you think about when Kylo Ren is talking to the helmet of Darth Vader, and I want to watch it again so I can see the differences. Maybe it's fucking Vader.
That would be interesting because I really absolutely hope that Vader's not dead.
No, he's dead, dude.
I hope he's not.
He's dead. One thing I'm trying to find out is like he was burning. Like Luke set fire to his body, and then who got the helmet out?
I don't remember that. I have to watch it again.
Like,
But obviously the helmet's massively damaged.
yeah. Oh, once you watch the first trilogy again, you'll have plenty of questions. Yeah, I think Finn might just become some kind. They're gonna have to fix him up.
Finn's gonna become Han Solo of our. No, actually, no. We have.
Finn was badass.
We have Poe. Is that his name?
Poe is pretty badass too, but I don't think he's as main a character as Finn is. And I think Finn got damaged so bad in his lightsaber duel that he's gonna be half cyborg or something. I wouldn't be surprised.
How does he get damaged? Like, what happens?
He loses the lightsaber fight and he cuts his back open like in the length, so his spine might be all fucked up.
Well, that would be interesting how they do the character now.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's talk about the lightsaber fights.
Yes.
Here's the thing in the original movies that everybody seems to love, lightsaber fights are done in a certain way. Lightsabers are heavy.
Yeah.
It's mostly like, I don't even know how to say it. It's like a medieval kind of sword fight,
right,
where each move takes a certain amount of energy out of you, but you have to think about it, and that's the kind of fights you see in the episode 1, 2, and 3. They're really beautiful and light and like maneuverable.
Oh man, they're so fast. The fights are epic. And the one with Darth Maul, man, that's what drew me into Star Wars. I love that fight at the end of episode 1.
I love every single one of the lightsaber
so
fights.
Badass.
But in this new movie,
they're heavy again.
But at the same time, aside from Kylo, who barely gets to use it, aside from when he's super angry, you don't see anybody with a skill use the skill of using a lightsaber.
Well, because Kylo is not, he's like still in training.
But even though I imagine he has a skill, but he never comes to he never fights somebody that's on the same level. So he never has to use the same level of tactic that we saw in the old movies. Yeah. So he's a brute force. The way he holds a lightsaber, the way he fights, is this. He owns the space that he's in, and everybody else, no matter who it is, it's an underdog next to him. But this is the thing I didn't like is Finn makes sense because Finn has military training. He would know what a lightsaber is. He would know maybe how to control it, right? And he does okay using a lightsaber, especially against that badass stormtrooper that has a spinning thing. Anyway,
he still loses that one.
He does, but he does well enough.
He's all right, yeah.
What I don't get is, how can Rey use it?
It's a sword, man.
It's a sword, but can you use a sword?
Well, no.
She's bad at it.
Throughout the movie, she's fighting with a stick. So she knows how to maneuver this stick kind of weapon. So when she gets a sword, it's a little bit different, but she still knows how to use it.
But I do like how she was doing literally the old school kind of sword, like a straight jab, and it wasn't working for her at all.
She does that so many times. I'm like, come on, I know. Bad producing right there or something. I didn't get the right takes for that. I don't know. I don't know anything about movie making.
But man, my favorite thing about this Star Wars movie so far is. Oh my god, I'm getting so stuffy. My thing is, J.J. Abrams has a thing that his movies, when you look at them, you know they're his movies just because of the way camera moves and that they're visually really pretty in his own style. I feel like he had to tone it down quite a bit to match the style of Star Wars. But he got it in there a few times. One of them was when a good fighters, I don't know what they're called, they were flying over the lake.
Oh,
stunning,
so badass.
But there was quite a few of them in the Kylo and Rey lightsaber scene. One of them was when they were both holding each other's lightsaber, and they were basically
really close.
Not that really close, but it was actually a really wide shot of them, and the lightsabers were both basically going diagonally across the screen.
Okay.
And you saw red and blue, and it was a really nice shot as they were really close. But the close-up, that was the most impressive thing.
Right before she kind of like realizes, the Force.
Correct.
I can kick his ass.
The reflection of the lightsabers in their eye.
Did you know that those lightsabers were actual like lightning pieces of plastic, and that's why they got great lighting out of them?
That was impressive. The lighting that came out of the lightsabers was fantastic.
And Kylo Ren's like unstable flames on his like the thinking of that detail is great.
But honestly, like even though his lightsaber is insanely badass, I don't know if it's the most badass one yet. I like Luke's lightsaber a lot. It's just plain like original lightsaber that's awesome. And Darth Maul, I mean, he still wins them all. Like
double lightsaber bitches.
Dude, it's so good. But here's the thing. She wasn't good at using it. The reflections in the eyes were beyond amazing detail that they thought about. And it's so great that they put it there. But Nobody wins that fight.
No, she does.
How?
Oh, it's obvious.
He's down, but he's not dead.
He's hurt so
He's
bad.
conscious. He's looking at her in anger.
She cuts his leg. She cuts his shoulder. She cuts his arm. She cuts his face.
But none of them are cut off. This is Star Wars.
But
That's the cut.
yes, I know. Did you notice that only a very few things got cut off, like woods at the last scene, like pieces of woods got cut off in half by lightsabers. The lightsabers in the episode 1, 2, and 3, dude, like Qui-Gon Jinn could like melt a door.
Yeah.
And they would cut any kind of pieces of metal, like just by doing zip. Darth Maul got cut in half, like no effort. These new lightsabers, I feel, are not as powerful.
I don't know if they're as powerful, but they're trying to set the canon for what the universe needs to be, and maybe in this new universe, they have some sort of physical property that they're gonna think about. Because in the old ones, like it really was like this beam of energy can go through anything easier than butter. Like right?
But it didn't seem like
not at all.
Like,
because even when he goes angry, right? When he goes angry and destroying equipment.
Well,
it's not going through it like butter.
It is because you see the big like gashes in the equipment.
It does, but it's taking energy out of him to do it, and those things are
strike
flying around.
really hard.
It's not just going through it easily. So that's something that they did really well.
Yeah, I like that detail too. I like that there were heavier, slower paced fights, more brutal. But I think the new is not gonna make sense with the 1, 2, and 3. But that's okay because I think they're just trying to put those in the past and not really.
I imagine they're trying to ignore that basically.
Yeah. But she wins the fight because at the end, like, he's fucked up. Kylo Ren is like destroyed. Like he's alive, but he's hurt. You can tell. Also,
I feel like he was holding back for some reason.
No, he was not holding back, but he did get shot by Chewbacca.
Yeah.
So he was hurt big time. So maybe that's why he was not as badass.
Have you read online the theories about that?
About what?
About the Chewbacca shot?
No.
I don't know what this is based on. And God, I hate that I sound so stuffy right now. I don't know what it's based on, but the idea is that Chewbacca should and probably is a good shot, like a really good shot, especially with that weapon that he has.
Yeah, but he was far.
Doesn't matter. That weapon is supposed to go really far. So the idea is, given who Kylo is,
the son of Han Solo, his best friend.
His best friend.
He missed on purpose.
The idea is they probably have some sort of a relationship. He was probably there when Kylo was growing up. So
I never thought of that.
There's a comic that like just touches on it, and it's so brilliant. It's basically showing Chewbacca take a aim at Kylo in the head, pauses, and then moves it down
instead.
Yeah,
or in the stomach or whatever the side.
And I'm just like that's if, because obviously this could be just fans putting in whatever they think.
Yeah, obviously.
But it's so beautiful. It's so awesome if that's the case.
I want to talk about this theory I had, right? And that follows me hoping that she's not Luke's daughter. For some reason, I have this like instinct that she is Kylo Ren's sister, which means she's
Twin
also
or younger sister?
Leia and Han Solo's daughter. However, there's at no point in the movie there's any hint, even in their acting, that they know her or know of her.
Correct.
So that kind of throws some like spokes in my theory's wheel, but at the same time I thought about, okay, she was dropped off on Jakku when she was really young, and she was probably one of the students that Luke had. Okay? Because even if she was Luke's daughter, they would know who she is. Like Han Solo and Leia would kind of have a hint because they kind of separated when Kylo Ren went bad at a young age, is what I'm understanding. Okay. So maybe they send their twins to Luke to get training along with all the other young Jedi.
So 2 sets of twins in one family tree?
It's Disney said it's going to heavily follow and rely on the family theme of Star Wars. So that said, when Kylo Ren at a young age lost his shit and killed all the other kids there in Luke's school, maybe Luke was able to send Rey to Jakku because it's a lost planet. No one ever goes there. No one would think of looking there for,
Yeah.
you know, a Jedi prodigy, because maybe he saved her because he knew how much power she had. So maybe she's not related in the bloodline at all, but she definitely is strong. And I think Luke tried to save her, and he's the one that sent her to Jakku at a young age. But if she was the sister of Ren, then Luke, in order to conserve her safety, told everyone, including her parents, that they all died. Ren is the only one surviving,
So
just
Luke
to
is the
save
only
her.
one that knows.
Maybe Luke's the only one that knows about Rey being. So maybe Han Solo and Leia put in their head that their daughter is killed, and that's probably why they separated, because maybe the hardship was too hard on that couple, on top of the fact that it's their son is turning to the dark side. And so they forgot about her. But still though, Leia being like having the Force, she would have like known that
Maybe
that's
she
her
does
daughter.
know.
Maybe she does, because at the scene in the end is really touching before she goes on with Chewie to find Luke. Like they have this hug and they have this passionate look. So maybe she knows and she's not saying. Who knows? But I wouldn't be surprised if they're brother and sister, because that would be epic, dude. They had their first fight in the first episode of this new trilogy, and they're gonna have more fight. One of her dreams, when she picks up the lightsaber at Maz's place, is you see Kylo Ren with, I think, the Knights of Ren, because he's the Knights.
In the rain.
No, in the rain, yes, but Kylo Ren is the master of the Knights of Ren. Snoke says that really, really briefly.
Okay.
And there's a scene where she's dreaming that scene where it's raining, it's dark. Kylo Ren with his lightsaber is standing. There's like a few guys around him, and those must be the Knights of Ren. So I'm sure there's gonna be a fight with them fighting.
What do they look like?
I don't remember.
Do they look like stormtroopers?
No, they look like badass kind of fighters, I think.
Okay, I have to look it up.
I mean, that's like, what, a 3-second thing in the movie? Yeah. So there's that. So I know they're going to meet again. They're going to fight again. That's like obvious.
Yeah.
But if they want to put the same kind of twist as they did in the first trilogy.
I don't think they should.
I don't think they should, but it's coming, because that works in movie making. It's the formula. There's just, all of the first movie so far is A New Hope, and people are saying it's just like The New Hope, which it really kind of is.
Yeah.
So if they're going to follow that formula, because they know it's going to work, and then it's them being brother and sisters is only the natural like way of things.
I agree. What do you think as far as trilogies go? Because this is the start of another trilogy. So we've had episode 1, like our generation of folks. Like I'm almost 30, you're 32, right? 31. Like our generation of folks has had, I would say, just thinking on top of my head, we've had Lord of the Rings, which was the start of another generation, another trilogy with the Fellowship. So we've had this now.
All right.
We probably had the episode 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I would almost say that it's hard to beat the Fellowship of the Ring as the start of a trilogy.
Yeah, I'm the first Lord of the Rings is great, awesome, brand new things like hobbits, elves together, and there's all kinds of fighting. That's great. But you know what? Like this Star Wars movie,
you think this is
beats all of them.
You think so?
That's just because I like Star Wars more than Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is cool. By the third movie, I was older. I was like,
I agree. I completely agree. But the first Lord of the Rings was a perfect setup for a trilogy. I was hooked.
Yeah, because that the mission is to destroy that ring, and now in Star Wars, like their goal is to destroy the Empire.
The bad side's goal is to destroy Luke, right?
Yeah. Kylo Ren is like.
Is the story that Luke is the last Jedi left?
That's the story. Because after the not the Empire Strike, the Return of the Jedi, they break the Death Star again. The Emperor gets thrown into the abyss by Darth Vader. Darth Vader dies. They party in the woods. End of story. And 30 years later, there were still like bad Sith lords around, and they made the new Empire, I guess, or what's it called? The First Order.
The First Order.
Snoke is probably a old badass, and now he's seduced Han Solo's son into joining the dark side to find the Jedi who almost broke them in the first place, which is Luke.
Why does he we don't find out why he goes to the dark side, right, Kylo?
No.
Or why he's so against Luke.
But yeah, we don't know why he wants to find Luke. We don't know why he hates Han Solo so badly.
Is that coming from the Supreme Leader?
Yeah, that's what Han Solo tells him. Like, he's just, clouding your brain. Like, you're just doing his bidding, and he's gonna get rid of you as soon as you're done.
Okay.
I'm just thinking of, like, we have had no interactions between Kylo and his mother. So
At
maybe
all.
when they meet, if they meet in the next few movies, maybe that's what brings Kylo and, like.
I'll be honest, I was disappointed in her character.
Me too. I mean, Han Solo was like dead on.
Yeah.
Just an older
And
version
hers,
of the
maybe
badass.
we didn't get enough time with her, but man, she was so massive in episode 4, 5, and 6.
She was never that cool in those movies.
I
I
think
never
she
thought that
was.
character was cool.
I thought she was because she here's the thing, she helps the story move along so much in those movies. And like she's the person, like this cheesy thing, she's the glue that holds everybody together.
True.
She is. She has a little part in every single person's character development. But here she was just a general. Like that's the thing I was disappointed. Is like they should have done more.
Well, she's not just the general. She's leading the
Resistance.
The resistance.
Yeah, but she as that, she wasn't. She needs to be more badass, man. Like they need to build her up a lot more.
I mean, dude, she's like a 7-year-old lady at this point.
But here's the thing, you just talked.
Actually, she's probably supposed to be 50, 60 in the story.
You just touched on Han Solo and Kylo speaking. So let's talk about that scene. Let's talk about Han Solo gets killed by Kylo after this interaction they have on this bridge over this massive hole, and the idea is that it shows Kylo struggling with the idea, almost giving up the dark side to go back to his father. My idea is that was all play. Do you think he was actually struggling, or do you think he was letting along that he was?
No, I think he was struggling, because another intimate scene with Kylo before this intimate scene with Kylo and Han Solo is him talking to Darth Vader, saying like, "I'm feeling the light side again. Show me the ways of the dark side so I can stick to that." And so when he comes across his dad, he knows that he has to kill his dad in order to like really throw the light side that much further away from him so he can be a badass Sith. Like because he has this like yearning to become like a powerful Sith, like an evil Jedi, whatever. So I think he wanted to kill his dad, but he did have a moment of maybe hesitation. Again, his acting in his face is great. It's so subtle, like
easily
really
my
good.
favorite part of any movies, man. Here's the thing, I've never seen him in anything else. Everybody's seen him in Girls and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, for somebody who this is the first thing I've seen him in,
Yeah.
he fucking nails it. He
Yeah,
does
he nails
such a good job.
I believe he nails it. And
Like,
a lot of people
about-
don't like him, but I think they just don't like the character. Like he's like
How can you not
they call
like
him the quote unquote the Darth Vader fanboy, which is cool. Like
Yeah, that's
whatever,
totally
but
fine.
Don't call. I mean,
I
don't
think,
hate him because of that. Like the actor did a phenomenal job.
here's the thing, it's a phenomenal job because this is the first time in a big movie, even Star Wars, I have a villain, supposedly a villain, that I kind of have mixed feelings about. This is one that I'm like, dude, this is not pure evil. There's something behind his anger. There's something. That's awesome writing.
Yes, it's just it follows this whole not trend, but this whole like the way like the what's the term? It's the bad hero. It's like the anti-hero or something.
Yeah.
That you want that person to win. Like I don't really want him to win. I want the light side to win, obviously in Star Wars, but I want him to turn to the light side, and I think we all want that. Because we've seen that he's vulnerable to being maybe drawn back to the light side.
Why not the dark side win?
Huh?
Why not have the dark side win? That would be a good story to tell.
That's the whole political aspect of Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's what Lucas started, and they keep going with it because to this society, they're drawing a lot of parallels to it. Like a government that wants to control everything is what the new First Order is.
But I can't believe that the Jedi Academy was destroyed by Kylo, basically.
Yeah.
That's what they hinted at.
And that's why Luke left.
Yeah.
But maybe he left to protect Rey.
Okay.
So that no one finds out where he's hid her. Because maybe Snoke is really, really, really badass, and he's able to read minds if he's close enough. like Kylo Ren, because Kylo Ren probably learned a lot from
Luke.
Luke
Definitely.
and Snoke.
But does Snoke have the ability to touch the Force? Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's one with the Force. He's the badass Sith Lord of this trilogy. He's the new Emperor.
Okay. I hated the Emperor.
What was your favorite action scene?
That's the thing. I thought as an action movie, this didn't have a lot of action. Hard to say. Oh, well, that you know what? I'll say the scene with Finn
And Poe?
No, not Poe. The super stormtrooper, the one with the spinning thing.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. My favorite scene was Poe and Finn's escape.
Oh, that's right. It was funny.
It's so exhilarating. Like the acting was on point. Nothing really happened. Like they just fled, but it was really cool. Like from the first time they interacted to when they crashed, and then I think my least favorite action part of the movie was right after all the X-wings come by the water and they just fucking they destroy all like they just kill it, but you see Finn looking at this black X-wing, and this X-wing is just like raping the TIE fighters. Like he's just like going one dead, he's just killing them. Like Ryan's doing like loops and all that, and I think that was a little too much. That was a little too much, because either Poe Dameron is like the ultimate badass pilot of the galaxy. Yes, I understand that. Or he's then those TIE guys were really bad pilots. I mean, come on, he just kills like 10 in a row. And it's cool. Maybe he's supposed to be the most badass pilot in the galaxy. He does break the planet in the end to save everybody's lives.
He's the leader of badass fighters. And just because of that, he's badass.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder if Kylo Ren got more information from him when he like used the Force to penetrate,
as opposed to just the location.
Yeah, maybe he got more info, but who knows. So yeah, that's a wrap up almost, I would say. We talked a lot about things. We didn't talk much about like special effects and stuff like that. Oh,
what?
Did you notice the one part when Han Solo is trying to close the door?
No.
I think they're trying to escape that crazy creature and the two bad groups of guys that are after Han Solo for the money he owes them. When they get to the hangar where the Falcon is, he shoots the door operating box by the side of the door, and it looks like it was done in the 70s, where in the first few movies, where
I need to rewatch
where
it,
there's like some kind of stop motion happening where the door opens really quickly, but the actor didn't really stay in his exact spot, and you see that, and that happens in this movie, and I believe they left that on purpose,
probably to do a throwback,
like a wink at the old or something.
They do a few of those. Like they do a board game in Han Solo's ship that I believe is the same exact effect that they use in the old movies, because it looks cheesy.
It doesn't look like it fits.
Yeah,
but again, it's a wink to the back in the day. What are your hopes for the rest of the trilogy, the rest of this epic new
honestly
story?
As far as the rest of the trilogy, I'll see it. I'm excited for it, but I'm excited about the new stories that they're gonna do, meaning the Rogue.
Oh yeah,
those are gonna be good. I feel like those are gonna be exciting.
The Rogue One, the Rogue Squad, whatever they're gonna call that,
the Han Solo movie, and hopefully the Obi-Wan movie. Those are gonna be awesome.
I think I told you what that Rogue One's gonna be about. The first one they're making like in 2 years.
How they stole the
plans
coming
to
out
the
this
Death
year.
Star. How they stole 2017. How they stole the plans to the Death Star the first time around in the New
Wait, I thought it comes out 2016. I thought it comes out December of this year.
My bad. Next year. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I thought next year is episode 8.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess 2 years from now.
So as of right now, obviously the discussion hasn't ended, but as of right now, that's probably a wrap on our first episode.
Yeah, that's good.
And we'll see how it goes. Well, today is what? Today is the 22nd. We'll try to upload it maybe by the end of this weekend.
Yeah.
And the idea is that obviously this is with my stuffy nose and everything else that's going
getting our feet wet.
Yeah, it's something that's shitty that needs to happen before something good happens. And hopefully down the line something good will happen, because otherwise this is disappointing. But anybody that is viewing, anybody that will be viewing or listening, should know that we feel really strongly about movies. I feel insanely strong about movies. We talk about this all the time. Remy he feels very strongly about movies, and as strongly as he feels about movies, audio and music he feels 1,000 times more strongly about. And this is who we are. We like to create things. Hopefully down the line we will be creating something of our own, but as of right now, this is a good stepping stone to talk about the things that we feel passionate about. So more to come really soon. And how do you think it went so far?
I think it went well. I think we like talking about how people make relevant art. Yeah. And so hopefully we'll build up on that. Anyways, that's a wrap. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thanks for the crappy audio. We're just getting started, like I said. It's gonna get better and better, guys.
That's right.
So I'm Remy, and
I'm Nima, and thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.